Welcome back to the Profits of IT, the podcast where we sit down with the smartest people in IT and pull out insights that actually make a difference. I'm your host, Jim Punzenberger, creator of ManageProspectingSystem.com. A quick word from our sponsor before we dig in here. This episode is brought to you by ManageProspectingSystem.com, a proven three-pillar system that helps IT organizations generate predictable leads through authority content, LinkedIn outreach, and targeted email campaigns. If you're done hoping the phone rings and ready to build real, reliable pipeline, head to ManageProspectingSystem.com. And I'm excited today. We have a great guest. He is head of client care and community at meetings.ai. That's meetings with a Z, .ai, and which is just soft launching as we speak, I hear. He's also
Correct. And we soft launched about a week and a half ago.
and you're also fluent in 3 languages, and the industry obsession with features, I think you're gonna might mention, is completely backwards. And his philosophy is built on something most tech companies forget exists. That would be empathy. Andreas Jaeger, welcome to Profits of IT.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
So let's jump right into your truth bomb here. This is one of my favorite segments of the show. And Andreas, yours goes against the grain of everything the tech industry tells us. You said the biggest misconception is that you need more AI and more features to stand out in a world where every product demo is a feature war. And that is a bit of a controversial take. You want to tell us more about that take?
Sure. I've been working in the IT sector for about 18 years now and help develop a lot of different products. And I am an avid technology user myself. And something that I found personally is that I have so many apps and so many programs that I use that I have absolutely no idea what all the features are. I probably use 8 to 10% of all the features that are available. And that leads to, that idea that there is an excess of features and a lack of focus in the fundamentals when it comes to some applications that we're seeing out there. There's a real strong push to get any type of feature out there, anything, the people involved may think may be useful and push that out there. I'm seeing very little focus on how to use those features, how to incorporate them into, for example, business processes, and B, they come out so fast sometimes that by the time you hear about one feature, another feature's come out and it's more important and everything just gets lost. I love to see companies that really focus on the fundamentals, right? Build a super strong foundation, not only for their applications that they're building, but for their company in general, right? So many people ignore, the fundamentals of operations, and not only in their own companies, but how other companies operate. And a focus on features should be that understanding that it's not about you, right? If you have a product with way too many features, but nobody's using them and your foundation is weak, you're just off to a bad start.
That makes sense. So let's switch segments now to another one of my things that I like to ask audience, or not the audience, I mean the guest here. Let's talk about your superpower. And you mentioned that yours maybe is the most honest answer that I've heard on the show. You said your unique strength is knowing it's not about you. And how does it's knowing how does that drive results? You want to expand on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So from the very start, I've always been in customer service and support. And the one thing that I've always found is literally it's not about me, right? A person who comes to us for support in any way, shape, or form, whether it's they have a problem or they want to do better or improve, it's not my problem. I mean, it is my problem, but it's not about me, right? You have to understand these people have a life that they're living. They have problems that they're dealing with. They have, issues personally and professionally that they go through every day. If you're a person who just spews answers at somebody without actually listening to the concerns that they're feeling, listening to the tone in their voice, seeing what they're going through, chances are your solutions aren't really going to hit the mark, right? Um, I always tell people listening is a superpower, right? Listening and not constantly answering. Just listening. You don't have to have an answer to everything, right? Let somebody explain. Let them do it in their time. And once you can really master this, the things that you'll hear from people will just be much deeper, right? Because it resonates with them that you're not just there empowering, just power suggesting things constantly, that may be completely relevant or that they're not in a position to even try. It just doesn't make any sense. So really taking that perspective of it's not about me, right? It's not about the solution that I think they need. It's about the solution that they actually need. So if you can learn to listen and empathize with people in general, um, you really do open up a whole new a book, if you will.
Yes, definitely. I guess listening can be a challenge sometimes, and I think everybody can um, be focusing on listening will help everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think it's a natural thing, right? People want to help others. And you hear a problem come out and you immediately want to be that solution, right? I think that's what we all strive for. Be the solution. Don't present a solution. Don't offer a solution. Actually be the solution to the person's problem. But if you're not absorbing exactly what their problem is and, all the intricacies involved, again, chances are the solution you're offering is not going to be the right solution for that person. So, yeah, learn to empathize, right? We're not machines. We just aren't.
All right. So let's chat about your $1 million learning moment. And yours is a story I think that anyone who has worked a startup world in the startup world is going to feel deeply. You told me that you joined a startup and that didn't prove its ability to grow or fund for the long term. Uh, what happened? What caused this?
Uh, Somebody who could speak better than they could perform, shall we say, right? Most founders are deeply committed to the company that they're building. However, some people have the gift of gab. And unfortunately, I found, this is my 12th startup that I'm working on right now. And it led me to a point where I really found that you need to understand and not necessarily research. I mean, I'm not talking about getting a PI or anything. But if you're going to get involved and going to commit to a startup, which is, a very particular environment to be in, you really want to do a minimum of research and gain some understanding of that founder and not only them personally, but also of where the business is. I have seen a lot of founders looking for that quick win.
Mhm.
Uh, and that is just a bad way to start to begin with. Nowadays, with vibe coding platforms, for example, right, we're seeing a lot of apps come out and a lot of people building things out, but they have no company foundation whatsoever. So it's really understanding what you're getting yourself into. Um, that is a huge deal when joining a startup. And I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to dissuade anybody by any means. I personally love it. It's been my life for 12, 13 years now. Um, but make sure you're going into it with the right people. It can be quite detrimental if you don't.
Sounds like sound advice. And
Yeah.
talking about startups, I think it's good to segue into let's hear about what's got you excited at meetings.ai. Tell us more.
So meetings.ai is not your typical AI note taker platform. We have a solution for you, right? Because meetings, if they don't have any value, are completely pointless. So we understand that there's this concept of business intelligence continuity, right? The business intelligence within a company always needs to be passed on. So Meetings AI developed an AI note taker that joins your meetings and provides you with a structured output, which is a digest. The digest comes in three sections: the summary, the next steps, and then the discussion topic. The most important thing in my mind, from an operations minded person, is the next steps, right? Every meeting has an outcome. It's vital that it has an outcome. And those next steps are sectioned exactly that way to make sure that there is a value to each meeting. I mean, if you're a business leader and you're seeing meetings and they don't have any next steps, well, you know what meetings to start canceling, right? They don't have any
Right.
value by default. And we provided, our users with a extremely efficient workspace in which they can go and see the meetings that are recorded. They can download the transcripts, watch the videos, and add people to the workspace. So it's a true communal workspace that we've developed for people to actually generate value out of meetings.
So is this like Zoom then, or how does it work?
So it's really simple. We opted not to actually make any connections between meetings.ai and other apps. So you don't have to connect your calendar or anything. But if you sign up, we provide you with an email address. And you just add that to any meeting, just like any regular participant. The scribe, as we refer to them, joins your meeting, records everything, and then digests for you. You can also choose to have the digest sent out pretty much right after the meeting to the participants or to specific people or to nobody, right? We have users from the financial sector, and obviously that information is highly restricted. So they have their workspace where all their meetings are gathered, but they don't share them out because, that would be creating documentation that would be unnecessary. So we provided a very solid workspace for teams to come in and actually provide that value when it comes to meetings.
So if somebody is interested in learning more, what should their next steps be?
Very simple. Go to meetings.ai. You can sign up there for our soft launch. We're also on most socials. I'm personally on LinkedIn every day, all day. So you can reach out to us at meetings.ai on LinkedIn or to me directly. I'm most happy to talk to anybody.
Well, we'll include those that contact information in the show notes. So check the show notes. And any final thoughts before we wrap up here?
Just wanted to say thank you again for your time. Remember, we're all in this together. We built a platform that we use ourselves. We built it for ourselves, and we understand the value of it. So please feel free, to reach out to us or me directly. And I'm happy to talk with you, answer any questions you may have, and I'll look forward to seeing you again in the near future.
Well, Andreas, thank you for sharing today. This was one of those conversations that has reminded me why I started this podcast. And before we sign off, one more quick note about our sponsor. If you're an IT company or B2B software company and tired of inconsistent leads, unpredictable revenue, and marketing that doesn't deliver, head over to managedprospectingsystem.com. I'm Jim Punzenberger. I built this system because I've been in your shoes. I've owned an IT company and sold it. I know what it takes to build a real pipeline. Go to managedprospectingsystem.com and let's build yours. Until next time, stay hydrated and caffeinated. Bye for now.